Hello everyone, Loremaster Sotek here, and for today's video I'm trying to get caught up on things that are going on outside of like the tabletop sphere and the Chaos Dwarf sphere, because there's so much Warhammer things happening, and it's basically impossible for me to keep up right now. So this came out almost a week ago now, but I'm finally getting around to making a video on it, which is that the Tower of Treachery trailer dropped, which is part 2 to the Trail of Treachery, which is the most recent, expansion is not the right word, but it's like the most recent part of the storyline for Vermintide 2. Basically, it is the first part of the Trail of Treachery, which I had a lot of fun with. It's a great map. You basically find out that Sienna's twin sister, Sophia Fuegonasis, has taken over a tower that used to belong to Alicia, I think her name is. You're the shadow wizard, old Kislevite lady that helps you on a lot of your quests. And she had like a really nice setup in her big old tower, but it got taken over by the Necromancer, Sophia. And this seems to very much be building up to Sienna's fourth career, which is going to be the last of the fourth careers. Everyone else has already gotten theirs. There's been a lot of speculation about who, or what, I should say, Sienna's fourth career is going to be. I have been on Team Necromancer. I'm staying on Team Necromancer. I've called my shot. I'm not budging. There are quite a few people that are making other predictions. One thing that I've definitely seen that's a very popular theory, and I can definitely see the strength in it, is that all of the gods, or all of the fourth careers, are kind of like associated with a particular god. So they're almost like kind of all religious careers, where you have Kruber, is following the Lady of the Lake, so he became a Grail Knight, and then Carillion became a a Sister of the Thorn, so she met with Ariel and became all super formed. Though it seems, if I recall correctly, even though she's a Sister of the Thorn, I believe she's more entered a pact with like Erith Kial, I think it was. But she's entered a pact with one of the Elven gods. And then you have Saltspire, obviously became a warrior priest with Sigmar, even though there's like some weirdness about how that Bellicor was heavily involved in all the crap that Saltspire did. And then last but certainly not least, you have Barden, who seems to have kind of leaned into the engineer ancestor god, which I want to say I'm pretty sure is Morgrim, is the ancestor god of engineers, if memory serves. But in any event, because of that line of theories, there have been people who think, oh, well, since Sienna is Talayan and she's all firing stuff, maybe she's going to become like some kind of Myrmidian, like some kind of Myrmidian, not battle wizard's the wrong thing. She already has a battle wizard career, but like some sort of like Myrmidian priestess, or Myrmidian wizard purifier or something. I don't know. Something to kind of like keep more in line with keeping her on the lore of fire. Personally, I think they're just gonna really throw caution to the wind and mix it up and do Necromancer Sienna. I mean, you could argue Nagash is kind of a god. Granted, I don't think she would be embracing Nagash. I think she would just be influenced by Nagash's resurrection that would be happening around the same time. Based on a lot of the dialogue in the game of characters talking to one another, we have quite a bit of dialogue suggesting that Nagash is literally right about to be resurrected. So pretty much everything that builds up to Nagash's resurrection has already happened. And there are already rumors spreading around that you can hear the characters talking about that have to do with the various like war parties that try to stop Nagash's resurrection being on the move. So I'm kind of thinking that's where this is going, is that the Trail of Treachery Part 2 kind of ends around the same time that Nagash is resurrected, perhaps, and we're going to see something big happen. But supposedly there should be some kind of notable DLC coming up after this. They have confirmed that Sienna's fourth career is after the Trail of Treachery little storyline ends, which this is the final part. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to the trailer and see what we're looking at. I am very excited for this map.
We cannot permit the witch to spread her curse. You'll find her at the highest point of the tower.
It's going to be a lot of climbing. It is a very cool looking map. Took them a bit longer to get this out than I was expecting, but I am super duper looking forward to it. I like the low gravity effects. That's a new one. So gravity, I guess, gets turned off.
Some people just don't know when they're not wanted. I guess we'll have a little fun.
She looks so good. Sophia looks amazing. Now, obviously, just seeing as a voice actress and seeing as a model, because it's her twin, so, she's had to break. But, like, I don't know, it feels like they've already made the model, so they've kind of already done the work. What is that hat part it's wearing? It's huge. Haven't seen any undead.
Good.
Yet.
I knew you'd make it, eventually. Sophia waits within.
Oh, we're gonna get to see a wizard too. Look at her sight! March 28th. Oh, wow, that comes out in like 4 days. Okay. Damn, all right. That's gonna be actually pretty soon. So yeah, I am super duper duper looking forward to this. I have a feeling looking at this that the two of them are gonna fight each other, and we're probably gonna have to kill like hordes of enemies that are pouring into this arena. But hey, we finally get to see Alicia like fight, actually do something. Normally she's too busy being the like kind of the narrator, but I am very very much looking forward to this showdown. I would love for us to get to fight Sophia. I'm just not expecting it. It seems like developing bosses for this game is like super difficult. But like it's a lot easier for them to do this kind of thing where you get her kind of fighting us at a distance, fighting around us, and we're doing things to influence the fight by filling up a meter, defending long enough. But who knows? Maybe we'll actually get to fight her. I will say though, I love her design. She looks amazing. I really, really want to throw down with a Necromancer boss. Probably the most anticipated things for me personally for Vermintide as a series, whether it's going to be in Vermintide 2. I personally hope that Vermintide 2 is just going to kind of keep going. I honestly think like the game itself seems to have a really solid foundation. I don't really want a Vermintide 3 anytime soon, because as much as I love Fact Shark, launching games is just not not one of their strengths. Every time they launch a game, it is like it is a hot mess. But once their games like get going, they're honestly amazing. Like I had a blast with Vermintide 1, especially later in its life, and I love Vermintide 2. It's legit one of my favorite games of all time, and it plays very, very, very well. So I like my biggest hope for the series is that my number one hope is we get Nurgle demons to complete the like trifecta of baddies, because the whole thing with the Pack Sworn is it's like Skaven and Nurgle, but like the Nurgle forces, it's like, oh, we've got the Mortals of Nurgle, and then they introduce the Beastmen. So like it's like, okay, I've got Mortals of Nurgle, I've got Beastmen of Nurgle, even though we didn't get Pestigors, which would have been nice. But like I want demons. Like we've had a lot of teasing about demons. We've dealt with Bellicor. We've dealt with the demon locked inside the blade from the Shadows over Bogenhofen DLC. We've dealt with the demonic rituals for some of the missions. But we haven't actually got to face a Nurgle demon, which is such a damn shame. I would love nothing more than to throw down against Plague Bearers and a Beast of Nurgle and Nurglings and all that crazy stuff. We got them in Darktide, but I'd like to get them in Vermintide. But in any event, my second thing that I would really love the most to see, and it would make a lot of sense, would be the undead. The undead do actually join up with a couple of chaos factions during the end times. Most notably, Khorne and Nurgle both get some undead baddies, where like Wallach Harkin and a lot of the blood dragons end up joining Khorne, and then Drakenfels, who's known as the Nameless, and Isabella von Constein, against her will, because she gets literally brainwashed, are joined up with Nurgle. So it would make complete sense from a lore perspective and a lot of fun perspective, especially with all like the Drakenfels DLCs and all that stuff that's been going on. If Vermintide lasts that long in the timeline, because we're still in like the baby phases of the end times, it would be really, really cool to get to see like maybe the Nameless have an influence. So we get to see like lots of undead, because they could certainly jazz things up. Like if we got demons and undead, I could be happy and call it. Like I think if you were going to do something like it's one thing that's I know been talked about a lot would be like greenskins. But I think if you were going to do greenskins, you should just make a new game at that point. Like that, like I wouldn't even call it Vermintide 3. I would just call it a different game. Like I could see that being like an Age of Sigmar game. We're going through the era of the Beast right now in Age of Sigmar, which is like the forces of destruction, which are greenskins, ogres, and goblins, are going like apeshit right now, and everything's getting really bad. So, you know, I could see that making a good setting for a game. But like I said, I don't really need a new game. I just want them to take this one to its absolute zenith. But I am very, very much looking forward to this coming out in just a few days. So I'll definitely be streaming it at twitch.tv/Loremaster of Sotek. We'll be playing this all day, the day it comes out. I'm going to just want to get through it as many times as possible. So I hope y'all will consider joining me then. So that's going to be this... It's going to be on a Tuesday. That's a weird day to release a... Whatever. In any event, that's all for this particular video. Like I said, I'm trying to kind of get caught up on a lot of things that are going on around the hobby space. There's a couple other games that are getting updates. Like I know Darktide just got like a really big update, I think yesterday. So I need to check out what that's about and see where the game's at. I enjoyed parts of Darktide. It just wasn't really for me necessarily, but I do want to keep trying it every time they release something new for it. And like I said, there's just more and more and more happening. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm still genuinely riding the high from the Seraphon reveals yesterday or the day before. I will be making another video probably tomorrow that I'm going to really kind of sit down and give my thoughts on the new Lizardman range, seeing as it seems like they've revealed the entire range. There are a couple of small rumors that there might be one or two more reveals for them, but I don't know. The stream seemed to imply that was it, like they were done. But at the same time, the Seraphon still aren't coming out for like another month or two, so I could very easily see them being like, "Look, here's like one or two more things," because we're still missing 2 units from the range that they've removed, the Razor Dawn and the Saurus Sunblood, which is the old Gorok model. Everything else has a new model now. But in any event, I hope you're looking forward to that. We'll have lots more Total War news probably next week, unless there's like surprise reveals, but I'm not expecting anything till next week. And there's so much going on right now. It's a good time to be a Warhammer fan. I will say that. Do let me know, are y'all excited for the Trail of Treachery? And let me know if you personally got to decide the direction that Vermintide 2 was going to go in. What would you want to happen next? So knowing that undead have kind of been the focus, like we've heard a lot about a vampire character who's like vaguely implied to be Genevieve, but we've heard a lot about a vampire who's in the area who we haven't seen yet, and we don't know what she's doing. But like Vermintide releases little journals about once every 2 weeks, I think, that advances the Vermintide narrative. And the only things that are really still going on right now have really revolve around Barden's daughter. We're learning about Barden's daughter and what happened to her and where she is. And we've also been hearing a lot about Sophia. And then we've also been hearing tidbits about relating to Sophia, this mysterious vampire. So who knows? Maybe it could be vampires, Sienna. You know, Sophia is the necromancer and we kill her and then we get a vampire out of it. I would not be upset with a vampire. I gotta be honest. If I got an undead Sienna, whether necromancer, even though that's not technically undead, or a vampire, I would not be sad at all. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down below and what you're hoping for or you think's gonna happen, and I'll see you later.